So up next we have a special treat with you. As has been mentioned, we are joined tonight by a legend, not just a legend in writing and literature and book publishing, but sadly and inadvertently a legend in censorship. Her books were being challenged ever since young girls began reading about menstruation and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And someday, thanks to the NCAC, I will also be allowed to read that book when my wife tells me I'm old enough. Judy Blume is arguably the most banned author in history after Stephen King, and I'm sorry about that, Judy. I think you've been robbed. I think Stephen King has been bribing people to ban his books because he wants to hang on to that trophy, that most banned trophy. It's a lovely trophy, you guys. It's the the trophy, the Don't Ask Alice, the Go Ask Alice Cup. It's a really beautiful trophy, and I can understand why he wants to hang on to it. The Askies are always a huge party, and he wants to win. But you're going to get there one of these days, Judy. I know it. Judy Blume's outspoken defense of kids' rights to read, her pioneering efforts to expose children to ideas that others may disagree with, is certainly worth celebrating, not just tonight, but every night of the year, and in libraries and in bedrooms, and indeed the bedroom of my own children. It is being celebrated every day. And to pay tribute to this icon of free speech is someone who has no problem speaking her mind. She is a performer, a writer, a giver, a taker, an asker, an author, a listener, a yeller, a love lover, and a rule hater. Her new book, The Art of Asking, comes out November 11th, and it is my pleasure. She has a somewhat controversial middle name, you guys, but as this is an anti-censorship group, I think you can probably handle it. It's my pleasure to introduce Amanda fucking Palmer.
Hi. So I didn't prepare a speech. It's really it's pretty speechy, but I I feel really incredibly honored to be here, and I'm scared shitless because I have a book coming out, and I feel at once honored because there's all these incredible women right now putting out books. Laurie Penny and Caitlin Moran and Lena Dunham, and I'm watching them all get torn to shreds. And I'm just like counting the days until my book comes out and I wind up on the chopping block of evil. And this is, I mean, what Roby said really hit a nerve, because I wonder about the unconscious censoring that's gonna go on, not because books aren't allowed to be in stores, but because all of the internet outrage that comes out against writers who decide to speak about something a little bit risky, or oversharey, or whatever, are getting so slammed that it's just easier not to do it. It's just easier to be a little bit afraid that you're just gonna have to deal not with big giant government censors, but with people. Because social media and the internet is making it so scary to put your stuff out there. Anyway, this song has nothing to do with that, although maybe it does. I'm not really a book writer. I have a book coming out, but what I really am is a songwriter, and I've toured for a long time, and journalists are always asking, as they're asking any artist, what your influences are. And I realized as I went through my 20s and then got into my 30s that I was trying to make my influences sound really impressive. Like, only the cool music that I started listening to from the time I was 16 were on the list of things that I would spit out. And I would include the Beatles and the Beach Boys, but it was The Cure and Depeche Mode and Nick Cave. And then I realized in my 30s that I was leaving all of this important stuff out, all this other stuff that influenced me that I didn't want to mention, like the Thompson Twins. And Right, but the Thompson twins are awesome. But then also I started thinking, like, why am I just listing music? That's just sort of weird. I was also influenced by Three's Company. I was also influenced by, like, Teddy Ruxpin commercials. And then I started going further back and thinking about all the things that were around me when I was small, things that I just took for granted. The films that I saw, the TV I saw, the books I read, and the books that I read that I just took for granted because they were there. They were the books in the school library and in Walden Books downtown, and I didn't know that there were other books. Those were just the books. And then I started feeling like maybe all those things were getting short shrift. So I wrote a song about it. People keep asking me why I do things like I do. And in all of this measuring influence, I forgot you. You and me hiding behind the Monhegan Hotel. You told me things that nobody around me would tell. That was the summer that everyone touched me at once. One day they ignored me, the next they were all down my pants. You were in bed with me, safe before anyone else. You opened beside me and held me when I needed help. You and me lying together at night in my room. You'll be inside me forever, Judy Blume. I couldn't carry a tune, but I thought I could sing. And no one had told me yet thoughts were a good or bad thing. But I started noticing grown-ups would smile and cringe. You taught me that you could say anything you could think. I don't remember my friends from gymnastics class, but I remember when Deanie was at the school dance, Buddy feeling her up in the locker room, Margaret bored counting hats in the synagogue, Davy was stirring the tea that she wouldn't drink, Tony was watching his so-called friend shoplifting. All of them lived in my head quietly whispering, you are not so strange. I don't remember the details of 7th grade. All I remember is lying and being afraid. But I won't forget Catherine and Michael going all the way. Steph on the scale in the bathroom alone that day. Karen pretending to puke so her dad would stay. Margaret arguing with God while she masturbated. All of them mixed up in my head like a love letter. All of them saying, Amanda, you know better. You are not to blame. The world's a twisted place. So go on and think how you want. You will not be alone with your thoughts. Well, you will, but you won't in a way, 'cause a girl thought it too in a book that the library bought. People will keep asking me why I do things like I do. And from now on, I'll mention the Cure and I'll talk about you. Judy, I can't believe sometimes that I'm an adult. Girls like I was think that I have this shit figured out. All of us lying together alone in our rooms. You'll be inside us forever. Judy Blume.
Amanda fucking Palmer, ladies and gentlemen. That was Amanda fucking amazing.